I know boomers get a lot of shit, and rightfully so, and so do millennials.
Honestly, I am a Zennial. I prefer the term MilleXial. It sounds much cooler. But I asked this question myself, and I've come up with the answers. So older Gen X functions a lot of the time, unfortunately, like as boomers. But the latter Gen X, MilleXials, like I call us the Benneton lie generation. Because we grew up the first time in American history where it wasn't cool to be overtly racist in most ways anymore, right? And there was all this ads, all this messaging around like racial inclusion and even the beginnings of like gay and LGBT inclusion, even though like while that was happening, Ronald Reagan let all of our Creole just die off. So we didn't have names for any of our identities. We took us like until we were adults to find a lot of the things that a lot of y'all younger than us have known since basically day one. We were getting told that we had no causes, that everything had been fixed, that everything had been solved. And we had this sort of generational malaise. Like that's why the word for Gen X is whatever, because we were told that everything was fine, but we had this feeling that it wasn't. And actually it was getting much worse, like on what should have been our watch if we had known anything about it. But we also didn't have the fucking internet. To make it personal, like I have clearly been non-binary for as long as I can remember, but we didn't have any word for that. That was just like, you look kind of gay, right? Like that's all that it was. We had maybe Prince and David Bowie to look up to, and like, you know, they were both just cis men, but like just kind of cute cis men that like people, and somehow people gave them a pass. And like the funniest thing is like how many straight male comedians made jokes about like how they wanted to fuck Prince, and we're all like, yeah, we were the ones who they gave out all the credit cards to, and like the loans that would eventually become the beginning of the student loan debt crisis. We were the test runs. We were the first subjects of that. A lot of us really did raise ourselves. Like, you know, we were raised by television and by our peers somewhat. And like those of us who were loners, like myself, just raised ourselves. So a lot of the things that y'all take for granted that y'all know now, we didn't learn until around when you started learning them, like a few years ago. And that includes things about like history and the truth about this country and how things were. It's like we are catching up as you're catching up. A lot of it's just because technology. Like we definitely grew with the internet, but we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't even have fucking Facebook. But let me say this. If you find someone from Gen X or a MilleXial who has not sold out, that's somebody who's going to ride hard as fuck for you, because